Come to me, my children. Follow the sound of my voice to receive thy blessings. Unburden yourself.
Ow, 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 ow. And welcome to the Church of Last Resort with the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll. The Church of Last Resort, where your prayers are heard, your sins forgiven, and no matter what you believe, you won't believe this shit. And now, the Irreverent Reverend, the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll. Good morning, brothers and sisters. And I mean, you hear it in my voice? That's right. That's residue of happiness. That's right. Residue of happiness. Or residue of something. It got caught in my throat. I'll tell you about it a little bit later. Good morning, brothers and sisters. And this includes our new members who may be enjoying us for the first time. For the first time, wherever you may be and wherever you want to be, because you may not be where you want to be yet. There you are. There you are. And there you are. And there you are. That's right. And here I am in my office. It is Sunday, April 26th, the 481st day of the Sex Offender Administration. That's right. And it's 70 degrees and no humidity. But on the other side of this wall, right now, on the other side of this wall, it's 46 degrees, a little clammy, has slight overcast, 16% humidity. And there's a 100% chance that if you watched the White House Correspondents' Dinner last night, if you didn't watch it, there's a 100% chance that if you did not watch it, that you missed the excitement like Cole Thomas Allen missed his target. That's right. But actually didn't miss much. Apparently it's going to be rescheduled 30 days or something like that. So we'll see. Welcome to the Church of Last Resort. I am the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll, PhD, DDS, ADHD, MCM, LIX. People have also called me the racy reverend, the pervert pastor, the vile, vulgar vicar of vice, the sexy shepherd, the missionary man, the minister of mischief, the dirty deacon of doggy style, the freaky, frisky friar, the ass-man abbot, the colored cleric, the booty-banging brother, the handsy high priest, the shameless shaman, Father Fistmas, the wicked I like to watch witness, the holy hoe, the divine dominating dominee, the depraved preacher, the tickle-me theologian, the minister of making love, the clergy of cunning conversation while eating coochie, and that nasty N-word. That's right. The point is that I come by many names and by many methods, but, and this is a big but, and I like big butts, cannot lie, I do not come easy. That's right. So brothers and sisters, children of all shapes and sizes, let us begin as we always begin in the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor. Can I get a fuck? Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. Welcome back. We missed you. Yes, we did. And so I had to fix that. See, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I have my camera was like a little tilted, but hey, and it's still a little tilted, but it's not as bad, and it's also tilted in the other direction. So if it evens out at some point, that tilt and the other tilt equals no tilt. That's right. So brothers and sisters, it is time for our opening prayers, sponsored by G.D. Fenderson, Certified Forensic Humorist. That's right. If you have an opening that needs to be filled by a comedian, G.D. Fenderson has your opening needs. That's right. Now, if you or someone you know is in need of a prayer, the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll, please send your request for a prayer or healing or forgiveness to any such request to the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll at gmail.com. So that's DRREVJELOYROLLE at gmail.com. That's right. Even though I have not gotten an email from a person who was not in the business of selling me something for a while, like a Spotify, sent me like 5 emails last week. There's the new competition on Plausible. They're not trying to sell me anything. They just let me know of any of my favorite comedians that I've signed up to watch a show and are going to be having a show. And so they send me emails. Check out plausible.com. And no, but other than stuff like that, that's really all I get. As a matter of fact, yesterday, I'll tell you about yesterday. Yeah, I'll tell you about yesterday tomorrow or later today, later in the hour. How about that? But anyway, the point is, my email is just like it is, scrolling across the bottom, Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll with an E at gmail.com. And it's scrolling across the bottom right there. So if you got any of your concerns, send them to me and not any other Jelly Roll, because they don't give a shit. And good morning, Brother Hev. That's right. We got the fuck yes today. Yes, we do. Yes, we got the fuck yes and a lot of fuck yes to give. Yes, we do. So, brothers and sisters, before we continue, let us have our disclaimer, which we must have by law, according to our attorneys. Do we cheat them and how? Now for our disclaimer. While all prayers are heard, not all prayers are answered when we want them to be. Some loopholes and restrictions may apply. So please bow your heads unless you're driving your car or your significant other. And if that is the case, just close your eyes. That's right, just close your eyes and let Jesus do the driving while we pray. That's right. But cautionary tale, do not let go of the wheel until you know Jesus has control, full control, nothing but control. Not just the steering, but the gas and the brake as well. Because if you don't, if he doesn't, you do not heed my warning, and you let go and he does not have control, that as well could be yours. That's right. Good morning, Sister Ann. Good morning, Sister Ann. So, brothers and sisters, let us start. Dear Lord, please bless Sister Natalie Bay. Sorry, Nathalie Bay. That's right, it's Nathalie. Yeah. You ever see that movie, The Other Guys? And there's one woman, her name is Christina, and somebody doesn't say it right, and the boyfriend goes, "It's Christina! What are you, dumb, stupid?" So this is Sister Nathalie Bay, Downton Abbey. Sister Nathalie Bay, most recently seen on Downton Abbey, has died. She was 77. Her cause of death was Lewy body dementia. Bay died in her home in Paris with a gooey body dementia. That's right. Bay began her career in the 1970s, appearing in more than 80 films. She graduated from France's Conservatoire National Supérieur d'Art Dramatique, or as we say in France, that building over there. And she graduated in 1972 and made her film debut that year in Robert Wise's Two People, where she played one of many people. She played Paula Abagnale, the mother of Leonardo DiCaprio's character, Frank Abagnale Jr., in Catch Me If You Can, also known as Slut Mom Number 1. That's right. She was cheating on her husband with the furniture guy, I think. Maybe that was Chicago. I know it wasn't the pizza guy. Her work has also been recognized critically, as she was a 10-time nominee of the prestigious César Award and 4-time winner. She won for Every Man for Himself in 1980. Strange Affair in 1981, Le Balance in 1982, and The Young Lieutenant in 2005. In 2022, she appeared in the movie Downton Abbey, A New Era, where she portrayed Madame de Montmirail. They portrayed Marilyn Neyman in Mother Valley 2023 in her final film appearance. Rest in peace, Nathalie. You were in 80 films, but only one. Sorry. Can I get a pardon for my coughing? Dear Lord, please bless Brother Doug Martin. Brother Doug Martin, former American football defensive end for the Minnesota Vikings, has died. He was 68. That's right. And this is not the same Doug Martin who died at age 36 after being taken into police custody in 2025. Not the same Doug Martin. See, this Doug Martin, his cause of death was cancer. The other Doug played for the Buccaneers. So this Martin was a 9th-round draft pick in 1980 and played his entire 10-year career with the Vikings. He retired with 61.5 sacks, 126 games, and was first-team All-Pro and NFL sacks leader in 1982. Rest in peace, Doug. I hope your Viking funeral has plenty of grave goods. That's right. Can I get a Valhalla? Yeah. Woohoo! Valhalla, yeah. Dear Lord, please bless Brother Walter Riff Hutton. Walter Riff Hutton, American actor, has died. He was 73. His cause of death was glioblastoma, a type of brain cancer, the bad type of brain cancer. He died surrounded by family and friends, the worst type of family and friends, because everyone surrounded by those family and friends have died. That's right. I see a pattern. Riff portrayed Dr. Ron Welsh across the 4-season run of Doogie Howser, MD, between 89 and 93. He appeared as Lieutenant Commander Alan Batoni of the United States Navy in JAG, season 3 through season 6. But seasons 3 through 6. But when it came to jacking officers, William Lindsey Graham still holds the trophy, the phallic-shaped trophy, because Lindsey Graham was a real JAG officer. His television work, we're talking about Hutton now, his television work also included roles in The Bold and the Beautiful and General Hospital, where he played multiple characters in the former and Lenny Caulfield in the latter. Riff was also recognized for appearances in commercials during the 1980s, portraying Russ Beeler, a restaurant owner for KFC, helping him climb the ladder to the former. Riff Hutton was a prolific voice actor, contributing to major animated films and franchises including Shrek, Kung Fu Panda, How to Train Your Dragon, Paranorman, Rio, Ice Age, Hotel Transylvania, Angry Birds, and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. That's right. Rest in peace, Riff. You also voiced video games. Can I get a Blythe Hollow? Dear Lord, please bless Brother Dave Mason. Dave Mason, British guitarist, singer-songwriter, and co-founder of Traffic, has died. He was 79. His cause of death is SUDS, Sudden Undisclosed Disease Syndrome. He reportedly died after cooking Yes, he reportedly died after cooking an amazing dinner with his wife Winifred. He later, after cooking, sat down to take a nap with his Maltese named Star at his feet. He passed away peacefully in his favorite chair, surrounded by a beautiful Carlson Valley. Okay, that's beautiful. But dying in a traffic accident would have been funnier. See, because he helped found traffic. That would have been funny. As a member of Traffic, Mason is known for feeling all right. See, that song title has a question mark. Feeling all right? Like that. And also, as a solo artist, We Just Disagree. Rest in peace, Dave. With your last minute to breathe, did you ask for something like another chance? Can I get a low spark of a high-heeled boy? Not for myself, asking for a friend. Dear Lord, please bless Brother Alan Osmond. Alan Osmond, American pop singer, former Osmond brother, has died. He was 76. His cause of death was multiple sclerosis. Overachiever, trying to compensate for not being recognized as an Osmond brother. So instead of just a single sclerosis, which most people go for, they get the singular sclerosis. He says, nope, I want the multiple sclerosis. That's right. Good morning. That's right. Yes, good morning. Oh, I see what I did there. Alan was the oldest member of the Osmonds. The band, not the family. His father was the oldest member of the family. Alan was a contributor to their hits, One Bad Apple and Crazy Horses. Although Alan was the oldest member of the Osmonds, he was best known for not being Donnie or Marie. Rolling Stone wrote, despite his passing, Alan remains a cherished member of the Osmond legacy and the country music community. Well, he just fucking died. Of course he's still cherished. He just died. Give it time. He'll be reviled and forgotten. Rest in peace, Alan. I don't know which one you were. Can I get a Mormon and even more kids? That's right. And finally, Lord, please bless the entire behind-the-scenes staff at Mind Dog TV. They, and by they, I mean them, are truly doing your work throughout the wordosphere. They avoided slight, I'll let you know something. I can put that out there because I don't know if it's public knowledge yet. But welcome back, is all I'm saying is welcome back, Mr. Carter. Like I said, you could have been anywhere today, but instead they're just here, wishing that they were anywhere today. That ought to count for something, Lord. That's right. MindDogTV.com, the place to go to get all of your Church of Last Resort gear, all of your Coffee with the Dog gear, all of your Richard gear, and all the other stuff. And just buy more shit. The more shit you buy, the happier our behind-the-scenes staff gets. That's right. Now, let us have a little bump for the Lord. That's right. This is that time for the bump with the Lord. Brought to you by Bump in a Bottle. Straight from our vineyards to your innards. Wine, just like Jesus used to make. I'm going to tell you something. This is the good stuff. Well, let me finish this thought, and I'll tell you about the other thought that I was having about wine in a minute. Whoa. Good stuff. Whoa. Wow. Okay. In the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor, can I get a fuck yeah? Fuck yeah! Mhm. So yesterday, actually this weekend, we're celebrating GD and Carol's wedding, their anniversary. Uh, their anniversary was technically on the 21st, which is a Tuesday. And because Tuesday falls somewhere between Monday and Wednesday, they didn't want to celebrate it on that day. So they couldn't celebrate it Wednesday night because Wednesday night is trivia night, right? That's right. They couldn't celebrate on Thursday because uh, GD had a show on Thursday at a nursing home. And then so they couldn't celebrate it on the 24th because GD had something else he had to do on the 24th. So they said, we're doing celebrate on the 25th and 26th, which is yesterday and today. Now, yesterday was more like a gathering than a celebration. A bunch of us, and I mean a bunch of us, went to the wine festival in Westminster. It's not the festival. It's not the big festival. This is the wine stroll. The wine stroll is they close off about a quarter mile of the street or something, and they have all the businesses are on there. The businesses are all open, but the streets closed. And people can pay like I think it's $10. If you pay, anybody can walk in. See, that's just it. Anybody can walk in. The street is not closed to the public, but what it is, if you don't pay, you don't get one of these orange bands. And if you don't get an orange band, you don't get the free samples. Okay, you don't get the free samples if you don't pay. So we pay $10, and so what? $10? It's supposed to be 15. All right, let me let you in a little secret. Usually, we like to get the VIP tickets. When we went to order the VIP tickets, there were only two left, and there was more of us. So we're like, who would get the two tickets? None of us are. We will just get the general admission, which is $15. But then it was supposed to rain, and the sip and stroll is from like noon for the regular people, from noon to 4. But it was supposed to start raining around 3 between 3 and 4. So they said, let's move it. And they moved it to like, instead of 12 to 4, they moved it 10 to 2 or 10:30 to 2:30. And because they moved it that, they charged everybody, and then they got rid of the VIP section because the whole point of the VIP section, they let you in at 10:30. But since everybody's coming in at 10:30, what's the VIP advantage? So the VIP people, they got refunded money. So there's no more VIP section. So now everybody's paying $10 to get in. And so that's where we were yesterday at the sip and stroll. And they have all these wine booths and moonshine booths and food booths. And if you have a talent, let's say you paint, you do paint parties, you could have a booth there, with your paintings and say, with your card and say, I do paint parties. And you give out your card at the booth, and people will see your paintings. They see you sitting there, and you just talk to people as they go by. And you'd say something like, hi, I'm Nat Mappo. Yeah, Nat Mappo. And I do paint parties. And you give them your card, and they see your samples, and you take their information, and then that's it. So you can have a booth there, even if you're not a winery or moonshinery or brewery. Okay, as long as you have a business. Matter of fact, I don't even think you have to have a business. You could just rent a booth. I don't think they care what you do at the booth as long as they're getting their money for the booth. I could have had a booth. I'm the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll. And of course, my booth wouldn't last long. Right after the first fuck yeah, I'd have been out of it. Like, okay, we'll refund your money. We didn't know you were going to be fucking yang people. So anybody could get a booth. That's the point. So we were there celebrating, went walking and drinking. And then afterwards, we went to dispensary. Okay. Lord, have mercy. Now I have a dedicated shelf in the cupboard. Vegetables. Never had it before. And I was fucked up yesterday. GD was fucked up yesterday. And he couldn't even write decent stuff for me today. He was so fucked up. He said to everybody, I'm not going to do anything. I got to write tonight. And he did. He ate one. And they said, don't worry. We think this is either 5 milligrams or 500 milligrams. I can't tell what that last smudge is. So, and GD was like I said, he was out. He woke up at 4 o'clock this morning to write all this shit. Okay. And I almost overslept because I didn't get out of bed till 8 o'clock. I went, shit, it's 8 o'clock. I gotta get going. I gotta get purdy. I gotta pull the hair back. I gotta put the glasses on. So that was from yesterday. Now, usually I would play the commercial to tell people how to get on the show, but I didn't see like anything, and I wasn't certain, so I just didn't do it, you know. So we're pretty much going to go straight from here to there, which is the segment that we call Looking for God in All the Wrong Places. Okay? Looking for God in all the wrong places. And today, we're looking for God in the cave. That's right. The song by Mumford Sons. Okay? Now, according to the Google machine, the title itself, The Cave, hints at philosophical depth that harks back to Plato's allegory of the cave. Okay, just as the ancient philosopher depicted prisoners mistaking shadows for reality, the song's protagonist grapples with a similar enlightenment, shedding the shadows, fear, and doubt. Okay, that's what the Google machine says. And it also says this powerful metaphor cultivates a conversation about liberation. Mumford and Sons challenge us to emerge from the confines of our caves, the philosophical and emotional limitations that subdue us, to visualize the world turning upside down with newfound wisdom. That was what the Google machine says. Okay. Now we're going to go through the lyrics and hear what the Reverend machine has to say. That's right. Okay. The song begins like this. The lyrics begin like this. It's empty in the valley of your heart. The sun, it rises slowly as you walk away from all the fears and all the faults you left behind. That's right. I'm going to do that one more time because I did some spacing in there that I put that didn't belong, and it makes some of the sentences seem a little awkward. I'm going to try to read it a little better because this is my first time reading this. I didn't proofread this. It's empty in the valley of your heart. The sun, it rises slowly as you walk away from all the fears and all the faults you left behind. Now, since we know this song is called The Cave, I told you in the beginning, okay, the one thing about this song, there's two basically, about this first verse, two parts. It's empty in the valley of your heart, right here, okay? Empty. You're alone. Now, it also could be in lack of compassion, like you have no feelings as well. Very simple. But the last part, the sun rises as you walk away, okay, away from the fears and away from the faults you left behind. So basically it says your fears and your faults are keeping you in darkness, okay? And the further away you walk from your fears, see, I'm walking, and the further away I get from my fears, the more the sun rises, like that, see? I'm walking, and I'm getting away, and then the sun just rises. That's right. The further you walk away from your fears, the more the darkness goes away because it's your fears and it's your faults. All the faults that you left behind, that's what's keeping you in darkness. Your faults and your fears. You walk away from them, there's more light. Now, here's another little sciencey thing. See if I can do that for you. I don't know if I can do the sciencey thing. I'm going to try to do the sciencey thing. Let me see here. Can you hear me? You can still hear me. And I can't do the sciencey thing. We didn't realize this, okay? If there's a light, let's say you have a light bulb right here. All right, a light bulb right there. If I get right here, right up in front of that light bulb, I'm blocking all the light, okay, from going that way. But the further I get away from that light, the more that light penetrates the room around me and more light shines and fills the room. That's the other part of that metaphor. The further away you get, the more you move, the more the light can shine. That's just the sciencey part, not the faithy part. And we try to mix the faithy part with the sciencey part so that you can see sometimes science and faith do agree. The next verse. The harvest left no food for you to eat. You cannibal, you meat eater, you see, but I have seen the same, and I know the shame in your defeat. Okay, the harvest left no food for you to eat. Now, the part of that sentence, there was some scripture, and I wish I remembered it. As a matter of fact, there's a song that G.D. Fenderson wrote. He didn't record it. He did it with the band. Did it? Yes, they did record it for a demo tape, and it was called Vanity of Toil. Vanity of Toil. And the premise of that song was like you work your ass off and you have nothing to show for it. Okay? And they're not because, for a different reason. It's called the Vanity of Toil because all the things that he was trying to do, the reason why it didn't bear fruit was because it was not worthy of bearing fruit. He was planting bad seed, okay? As opposed to, let's say, you work your ass off and the opportunity does not match the work. This is different. See, it says the harvest left no food for you to eat. So now, again, see, the harvest is when you gather up the food. So people have gathered stuff up. It says, but there's left nothing there for you to eat. Okay. And usually when they talk about the harvest, they're talking about the plants. Okay. And it says, then he reaches out and says, you cannibal, you meat eater. Okay. So because there's nothing of value left behind, they begin to cannibalize, eat each other, because there's not enough out there. Not enough opportunity out there for others to do good or to get by. So they just tear at themselves and each other. Okay? It says, and I know the shame in your defeat. So it's like, it's either he sees it, like I'm watching you, I can see what you're doing, or he's also been there. But it sounds like, because it says right here, but I have seen the same. Okay? So he's seen the same harvest not yield anything, and he's seen the same cannibalism, and he knows what's feeling. He's been there. The next verse isn't the verse, it's the chorus. Chorus. But I will hold on hope, and I won't let you choke on the noose around your neck. And I'll find strength in pain, and I will change my ways. I'll know my name as it's called again. Okay, there's two things that I just want to get to here real quick. Not real quick, but two things, because this refrain, or this refrain, this chorus refrain is going to be repeated several times. So I'm not going to break it down every time unless something happens to my brain between the two times, and I go, wait a second. I just thought about that. That could also mean this. So if that happens, then I'll add something else into it. Otherwise, there's basically two thoughts I have here. The one thought says, I won't let you choke on a noose around your neck. I'm just hoping that at least one of his friends are black to get benefit from that. The other thing, and the other thing is, the last part here says, I'll know my name as it's called again. Now, it says called again. I'll know my name when it's called. The biblical significance of that is in Isaiah 43:1. Okay, page 6. In Isaiah 43:1, says that God knows your true name. Now, your true name is not. That's right. Because let me show you. I think I can. Yeah. Now, this is what I'm going to bring the board over here for. I'm going to try. Hopefully, you'll be able to see it. I haven't put up. There we go. Okay, good. I think we can do this. All right. So, according to many traditions, okay, let's say this is a person. All right. This is a person. Okay. Each individual, according to many traditions, has many levels. Okay. Like, so this is the physical level, and with the prana, the astral body, the mental body, and the theory body. And eventually the highest level is the soul. Okay. That's the soul. And according to many traditions, this is the true self. That is the true you. That is what is being contained by this body, or being held back by this body. Once this body is dead, then this body is free. Now, the theory is that when you are born on this earthly plane, you have a name given to you. Let's say, so like in my case, I was born and my parents named me Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll. That's what my parents named me. Okay. All right. But that's my name here. Okay. That's my name here. By the time you get to beyond the mental phase, because according to tradition, okay, astral plane, the mental plane, just above the astral plane, is the last plane that we have any connection to this earth. That's it. The mental plane is the last plane where we have any connection to this earth. And once you go beyond the mental plane, you're in like God country, okay? Angels and stuff, okay? And once you get to this level, ain't no coming back. Ain't no coming back. So once you get here, up top, yeah, God has a different name for this individual, okay? Yeah. So, and there's many instances in the Bible where somebody was given one name and then something happens and God gives them a new name. Okay. It says, so your name was Sarah, not Sarai. Okay. Your name was Elish, now it's Elisha. Okay. Or your name was Job. Now it's motherfucker who suffered a lot and for no damn good reason, but you stayed faithful. Motherfucker. Job. See, they just added a bunch of stuff on there. That's, So, but it represents two things: an evolution, where you go from here to here, having a new name. See, and once you get to that point where you have that relationship with God, or a different relationship with God, He calls you by your true name. Okay, that name, the name by which God calls you. And when God calls you by that name, you better come. If He calls you by this name, if He calls you by that name, you better come. All right. So that's one of the deepest things you're going to find in this song. And I don't know if they know how deep that is. I have no idea. I didn't ask them. And if anybody has Mumford's or the Sons number, have them call me. Okay. So it says right there that I'll know my name as it's called again. So here's the tricky part. Big Big Newton. Here's the tricky part. See, he says, "I'll know my name when it's called again." Okay, so that means he's he's he was on his way to salvation a little earlier, and he said, "I heard my name, but I didn't answer, or I answered and I fell back." He said, "But when he calls me again, I'll know it." I didn't know what that other name was. I didn't recognize it because my name was Mumford or Son, and he's called me something else. But now I know that's my other name, and I'll answer. I'll find that strength. I'll change my ways. Then, because now I know what it is. Now, as far as the noose around somebody else's neck, he's like it said, he means well. He says, "I'm not going to let you choke," but that's not quite how nooses work. See, he says, "I won't let you choke on the noose." Choking is when your air passages are blocked, and that's choking. I guess this is choking. Yeah, I guess they call this choking. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna forget what I was about to say about that because I don't think of nooses and choking as being the same thing. I think of nooses and hanging. But at any rate, next verse. I'm just gonna leave that hanging. I'm just gonna leave it there. If I get a better thought, I'll mention it later. Since that part is coming back later. Like I said, it's the refrain. It frames and then it frames again. The next verse, or the first verse after the refrain, "'Cause I have other things to fill my time. You take what is yours, and I'll take mine. Now let me at the truth, which will refresh my broken mind." Now, depending on when this song was written, because I have other things to fill my time, you take what is yours, and I'll take what is mine. Depending on what he's writing about, depending on when he's writing about, okay? This is going to be, I need this. This could be a little bit trickier because, for example, when I was in my 20s and I was going through a breakup, actually, even in my 30s, I was going through a breakup, okay? And when we went through the breakup, we had things to divide up because of back then, we had physical stuff. We had physical records, physical albums, physical photographs, physical VHS tapes, physical movies, all that stuff. We had physical things. And so when we separated, she took hers and I took mine. All right. And it took a while to do all of that stuff, taking hers and taking mine. We had to sort things out. We go, okay, let's go through the albums. And to be like, okay, who's this? Okay, Anita Baker. That's yours. Who's this? Parliament Funk. That's mine. Okay. So you had 4 piles. You had hers, mine, ours, and disgraced. Now, like for example, like I said, we did the hers and mine. Then the ours would have been like an album that we both liked and we both bought together. And then the disgrace would have been like Michael Jackson, Bill Cosby, that kind of stuff. So yours, mine, ours, and disgrace, 4 piles. But it took a while to do that, and you had physical stuff that you had to do. The same with the photographs. Photographs of just her and her family, hers. Photographs just me and my family, friends, mine. Photographs of us together. We made copies, and we both could have a copy if we wanted a copy. Okay, because we had the negatives. And then we had the disgrace pile, like, oh, neither one of us want that picture. That person there, turns out, remember, he used to be a nice guy. We found out he was a pedophile. We don't want that picture. So that was then. Now you take your pictures and they say, we're going to divide up the pictures. Well, all my pictures are right here. We're going to divide up the music. All my music is right here. And that's it. Done. Gone. You grab your phone, I grab mine. So depending on when they were talking about, this could be a very complicated where you take yours and I take mine. Or it could be a very simple, you get your phone, I get mine, let's get the fuck out of here. We're done. All right? So it depends on when he means, when they mean, is the what, how deep we go with that. But then it says, let me at the truth. You know, like, okay, you know when you're trying to fight something, let me at him. Let me at him. It says, let me at the truth. Don't keep me away from the truth. Let me at the truth, which will refresh my broken mind. So in the beginning, this is, okay, there's a division in the beginning. So you take yours, I take mine, we go our separate ways. All I want is the truth. If I get the truth, you know, I'm broken, but I can fix that. The truth will help me fix that. See? The next verse. So tie me to a post and block my ears. I can see widows and orphans through my tears. I know my call despite my faults and despite my growing fears. Okay, now this reference is very close to the reference to the Iliad and the Odyssey, if I remember correctly, where if I got it correct, Odysseus was like on a boat, and the sirens was calling him and his crew, but he knew about this danger beforehand. He knew about the danger because everybody kept saying, when you go there, this is what's going to happen. Oh, good morning. Oh, Twitchbot. Good morning, Twitchbot. So and just like Odysseus knew that the sirens were out there, and he instructed everybody. He goes, I want the entire crew to plug their ears, except for mine. Leave my ears unplugged. Just tie me to the post. And no matter what I say, do not untie me until we've passed the danger. Okay? Just tie me up, because I want to hear their songs. I want to hear what they're telling people, but I don't want to react. And so this is what this is here. It says, so tie me to a post and block, and block my ears, which is stupid because that's stupid. Yeah, he fucked up. I don't think he read Odysseus, because the whole point of tying you to a post is so that you don't have to have your ears blocked, so that you can hear the screams, hear the songs, and then you don't. This part here now, see, funny, I'm rethinking it now. Because when I read this earlier, I'm like, oh, okay, this is like an Odysseus reference, but it's got the mixed metaphors. See, because he says, tie me to the post. When in Odysseus, he says, tie me to the post, but Odysseus says, leave my ears unblocked. I want to see what's going on. I want to hear the songs. Here he says, block my ears, block them. And then he says, I can see widows and orphans through my tears. So I guess he doesn't want to hear their cries. And if he's tied to the post, he can't do anything about it. So all he can do is watch. All he can do is watch the widows and the orphans while he's crying. Okay, this is fucked up. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't realize how fucked up this verse was before. When I read it, first time I read it, I had a different thing in my brain, and I didn't see it as being this fucked up. Now this is really fucked up. Okay, he says, I know my call despite my faults. Okay, I know my call despite. Okay, I know my call means I know what I should be doing, and despite my growing. Oh man, this is fucked up. And it's he either contradicted himself through ignorance, because he didn't know his ears supposed to be unblocked, and just tied to the post so he could not act. But now he's saying, not only do I not want to act, I don't want to hear the shit. I can see it and I'll cry about it, but I don't want to do anything about it. It says, I know my call despite my faults. So his fault is he asked to be tied and blocked, and it is blocked. He asked for that so that he can't act. And so that's his fault. I don't want to see, I don't want to act, I don't want to hear. I just want to see and not do nothing, just cry about it. No, that's a fucked up verse. I'm not sure I like that verse. It's his, but I can't make sense out of it now. Because when you realize anybody who says this is Odysseus, like, they're wrong. Like, I was wrong when I first started off. You heard me. I was comparing it to Odysseus, but then I realized he said, block my ears. That's not what Odysseus did. Odysseus says, leave my ears unblocked so I can hear it. I just don't want to act on it. I want to know about it. I'm not going to act on it. All right. Now I'm all upset because I hate when people contradict themselves. I don't catch it in time because that's on me for being presumptuous. I presumed that I thought I knew what I was reading, and I didn't. Damn it! I don't like that. I'm here as a beacon, as a light, and not to be another ignorant minister. There's enough of them out there. All right, but I forgive myself because I was high. But I hate when, okay, see, that's not an excuse. I knew I had to do this, and I still got high. So I just didn't know I was going to stay high. That's the part. I just didn't know. I should know now. All right, back to the refrain. But I will hold on hope, and I won't let you choke on the noose around your neck. And I'll find strength in pain, and I will change my ways. I'll know my name as it's called again. But after the verse before that, I'm not so certain of it now. Okay, next verse. So come out of your cave walking on your hands and see the world hanging upside down. You can understand independence when you know the maker's land. Okay, I'm going to take this one at a time. So come out of your cave walking on your hands. In the very, very beginning, I told you this song, The Cave, is an allusion to, I think it was Plato, when they talked about basically people stuck in a cave and they think that the shadows on the wall created by the fire and their bodies blocking the light occasionally are real. Okay, they think it's real. They don't know it's not real. And he's saying, okay, come on out of the cave. And you don't have to like scrape your knuckles, all right? You don't have to do this. You can walk upright. I'm sorry. What? No. Damn it. I screwed it up again. Some come out. Oh, so come out of your cave walking on your hands. No. You're supposed to come out walking upright. You're walking on your hands. Oh, I see. Okay, I got it. I misinterpreted that. Man, see, you see the world upside down. If you're walking on your hands, you see the world upside down. Okay, you can understand dependence. Ah, God bless America. Man, I like it when I learn, and I hate it when I learn in front of other people. Because like I said, I didn't read this. I just thought I knew what it was. I thought I knew what I was getting into. I didn't reread it. In other words, I go through this and I didn't analyze it. I said, okay, I got this. I'm good. I got this. I'm good. I was being arrogant. I was thinking there's nothing new they can throw at me that I don't know how to interpret. And I fucked up. All right. So come out of your cave walking on your hands and see the world upside down. So they're telling you, come out into reality. Okay, you leave this cave, come out. But when you come out, I want you to see it a different way. The world is screwed up. So I need you to see it a different way. Okay? Don't see it like it is. I need you to see it in a new way. And that way will give you independence. You can understand dependence. All right. So you can see how the world is relying on itself and eating itself to stay the way it is. Okay. And once you do that, you'll know the maker's land. Okay. So once you see the world the way it is, the new light, and how it's really screwing itself up, then you'll know the land that God has made. Okay. You'll find that righteous place because it won't have all that craziness. But you need to see things a little differently. You can't see the world the way everybody else is seeing it because you'll get stuck in it. Okay. You need to walk on your hands and see the world a little different. I get it. Screwed up before because I misread something. I misunderstood. I apologize. And you guys didn't stop me. Damn it. You just let me go on like that. So make your sirens, okay. So make your sirens call and sing all you want. I will not hear what you have to say. It's a call back earlier. He says, block my ears. He says, yeah, block my ears. So he doesn't want to hear it. He goes like, okay, call me toward the cliffs. Call me toward the crags or whatever. You make as much noise as you want. Sing all you want. I can't hear it. Which is a little different than Odysseus. Odysseus wanted to hear it. Okay? Because I need freedom now, and I need to know how to live my life as it's meant to be. So in his case, instead of hearing the siren songs, he doesn't want to know about the temptation. He just wants to block it all out. That's it. He just wants to block it out and focus on what it is that will give him freedom, that will give him a better life, the life that he is meant to have. Okay? That's why he wants to block it out. That's why he wants to block out the siren song. Like again, so that's not the Odysseus thing. Okay, totally different. Now, Odysseus was single-minded at trying to get home. He was. And every time he tried to get home back to Penelope, his wife Penelope, he was away for like 20 years. He kept trying for 20 years to get back home. Obstacle after obstacle was placed in his way. And the sirens was just one of them. Cyclops, another. Over and over again, there's just things that was put in his way, preventing him from getting to the promised land or where he wanted to be, which is wife. But again, all through that, Ulysses, or Odysseus, depending on which version what you're reading, faced those obstacles and had to overcome them. In this case, he's saying, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to know about it. I just want to ignore it and get through it. But even still, that again, back to the refrain, and I will hold on hope and I won't let you choke on the noose around your neck. So even though it does not seem he cares that much, or at least he feels powerless to help, I'm not exactly sure now. But he said, well, not powerless, because it says, I'll hold on your hope. I'll hold on to hope and I'll help you. So he's still trying to help people. But he's trying to help people in one of the most lamest ways. He says, I don't want to know about the suffering, but I'll help you. I guess that's like saying, the image that's coming to my mind now is, let's say you got, there's poor people in that neighborhood and you avoid that neighborhood, but you may drop some change off. So you walk through, you don't want to see the people, you don't want to hear them, don't understand them, but you'll throw money out there. Say, here's a quarter. I'm not going to let you starve. Here's $1. Here's $5. I'm not going to let you starve. I just can't watch your pain. Okay. I got my own pain that I'm fighting through, and I'm not strong enough to handle my pain and yours. So I don't really want to know about your pain. I know it's there. And I'll help you. I just can't help you a lot. I will change my ways. I will know my name as it's called again. Now, again, if God calls your name into service and you don't do the service part, I don't know how all that shit works out. What's the point of answering? Answering the call, but you don't do the work. That's like being hired for a job and say, I'm not going to do that. They hired me. Yeah. I applied for the job. They hired me for the job. I don't want to actually do the job. I just like the title. I like the title that I was called by God. I don't want to actually do any of the work. I don't. I'm like I'm a white nationalist. Well, I'm like say Farrakhan. He does do some charity work, but then again, so do some nationalists. The point is, you can say you're gonna do good. You can say you're gonna do right. That's not the same as doing right. And I don't know if this is what this song is getting to now, because now I'm having trouble with deliberate contradictions and sleight of hand or sleight of word. I hope you got something out of it, because I had to rethink it, and I'm not doing this song again. So if you got something out of it, I hope you got something out of it. I did. I learned that I should be a little more responsible with how much edibles I take. And hello, well, that's the same twit bot. So before I go, we want to thank you all for joining us, even though I misinterpreted some of that stuff then, but I think I fixed it in real time. I hope I fixed it in real time, and I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got something out of it. So I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, and thank you for subscribing to my fledgling YouTube channel, my fledgling Facebook channel, Dr. Rev Jelly Roll. Bless you. I also invite you to go to gigseller.com, check out GD Fenderson. Next time you need someone for some comedic entertainment for a private event. That's right. So on behalf of the Church of Last Resort, the entire Roll family, my wife, and Mona, my kids, Cinnamon and Jelly Jr., our cat Tootsie, and our dog Stop Dropping, I wish you safe travels, and I hope you will join us next week at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, Eastern Orthodox Time, on Mind Dog TV, and everywhere that our word is heard. So in the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor, can I get a fuck? Yeah. Fuck yeah! Thank you.